to the new podcast, episode number 71. My name is Steven. I am joined, as always, by co-host and producer extraordinaire, my man, Kelly. Let's get to it. Lots to get to this week with UFC and Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship going down. A lot of the WWE with obviously the Portland takeover going down with NXT. And the road to WrestleMania is upon us. WWE really turned up the heat on their way to WrestleMania. I'm really enjoying the show, the product they're putting out right now. Had myself a fantastic weekend. Played a ton of Orna. I'll get to that as well in our video game section. Talking about some reviewing the reviews and MMA, as we do every week. You have a good weekend there, Kelly?
I did. I actually got Saturday and Sunday off.
Nice.
But I had to work today. Yeah, so I just relaxed like all of Saturday morning, then watched the UFC, completely forgot about the bare knuckle boxing.
How could you?
So you're going to have to tell me which fights to watch. And yeah, it was fun. I played lots of video games. As you know, they reset the ranked leagues in Apex Legends. So I'll talk more about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and I played a lot of Orna, got into some new video games. I'll touch base on what game I did play. What game did I choose from the Game Pass Ultimate? I'm excited to tell you.
Right on.
Went fishing. Long weekend here up in Canada. Family day up here in Canada. I don't know if you guys get one in the States there. If you don't, sorry, suck it. Nothing I can do about it. Family day, great holiday to have in February. Look, good break. Good breakup of the mundaneness, the darkness, the winter. Really needed that long weekend. And I went fishing. It was raining. It was pissing rain out there too. It turned to mist though. By the time we got on the water, it was still pretty damn cold though.
You saying it was raining in BC? What?
But my buddy was still down, and I'm like, let's fucking do it. I don't care. Let's fucking do it. And we went out there. And we had a fucking blast. We had an absolute blast, man.
That's awesome.
We got on the river, went on down the mighty Fraser River, and we had shot off to a little stream leading into it, and man, we fished our asses off. Did not catch a thing, but that's not what it's all about. It's about just going out there and having fun. Had a great jam as well yesterday, hanging out with my buddies and playing some tunes and fishing. Fuck, I had a great Saturday.
Oh, you know what else I was doing? I was like binge watching that Viking show again.
Oh yeah,
I put it on Netflix. That is a good show if you haven't watched it.
Really?
Yeah.
Edge is in that show too, eh?
Oh really?
Yeah, Edge is in that show. Yeah.
He it gets a little slow, I think, into like second or third season. I can't remember, but it picks up. It's good.
Let's talk some MMA news. Lots of news to break down this week. A lot of matchups being announced. One thing I thought was the most interesting is that I've always talked about, it's been the basis of this show since day one, crossover from MMA to WWE and vice versa. And we see a guy that I didn't even have on my radar, Jon Jones, wanting to make the crossover to the WWE, and him saying it's inevitable. I'm going to be going for sure. It's just a matter of time. And I thought, what a great plan. Absolutely. He's got the size. He's a huge dude. I think he's obviously seen what Cain Velasquez has done with it. But even though Cain Velasquez kind of disappeared. I don't know where he is. I think he's rehabbing his knee still or something. I don't know. But what a good move for Jon Jones. He's got the mouth. He's got the look. And above all those, he has the notoriety. As a tough-ass dude, undefeated still. You go over WWE with that bit of clout, with that on your resume, they are going to drive 2 trucks of money to your house, and they're going to dump them off, and they'll be back with more.
And he has that smug confidence where he could play an excellent heel.
Good call, Kelly. Good call. He does it right now. He does it right now just naturally.
Yeah.
So you could just imagine if he gets the scripting and the total smack talk where it's supposed to be a game, just the look on his face. Exactly. That says it all. Good call, Kelly. That says it all. To be able to actually sell that, to be the asshole. Some people can do it, some people can't. And I think Jon Jones would be a natural, easy fit.
I think he'd be great off script as well.
Just
running his mouth like he always does.
Yep, absolutely. That's half the battle when it comes to WWE as well. Good call. Another good call. You been watching some wrestling or something? What's going on here? What's going on? But I totally agree. I 100% agree. That's a great point, too. Going off the cusp and being quick-witted, having a quick mind, and already having the rebuttal to what that person's going to say is huge. And that will get you super, super far. It's weird, do we see Jon Jones maybe going to movies? Maybe movies has never really been his thing or something. But he seems like a guy who could do good in movies, too, just because of his size and, action movies, right? Everyone loves action movies.
GSP's been in a couple.
Yeah, exactly. A few. Exactly. Ronda Rousey's been in a few.
Yeah.
There's been lots, but maybe he's not ready for that. Maybe he's like, I'm a full-time fighter still, and I want to do that. But I thought, what a good move for, of all those people, Jon Jones to come over to pro wrestling. I thought, man, it's the sky's the limit, really. And it kind of opened up my mind. It kind of blew my mind a little bit because, I like I said, he wasn't on my radar at all as a dude who wanted to go over to WWE. He's a kind of a weird dude, though, so it does make sense. Like, he's really into Warhammer 40,000, like the tabletop game. He's super into that. Super avid into that. At least he used to be. I'm not sure if he still is, but that's a weird thing. So maybe just a weird guy, and maybe he's secretly liked wrestling all the time too. That's the thing. That's what's kind of weird is you generally don't see people come over to wrestling who weren't into it in some way, like enjoy it as a kid or have always been a fan type thing. Maybe he was just a little bit of a fan. You don't have to be a diehard fan to want to be in wrestling. Maybe he's just a little bit of a fan and said, hey, you know what? I can do this.
So who do you think becomes the bigger star, Jon Jones Bones or Brock Lesnar? Like, Brock Lesnar is already a huge star, bigger than Jon Jones right now. But if Jon Jones just crosses over, do you think he has that the ability to
draw more people?
Yeah, draw a bigger crowd.
I think you've kind of even opened it up even more, Kelly. This is getting insane. I didn't think this topic was really going to blow up into this, but the thing that Brock Lesnar had was he was the original, not maybe the most popular, I should say, not the original crossover MMA and pro wrestler, but he's the guy who made it what it is. He was the wrestling star, went over to MMA, won the title, and then came back to wrestling. If there's one other guy who was out there who could do that, it'd be Jon Jones.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he's going to retire undefeated, go to wrestling, wrestle for a while, wrestle for a few years, and then he will get so much money to come back to MMA, especially still undefeated.
Yeah.
If he's still undefeated and he comes back to MMA, there's not enough money in the world to give to him. So maybe that's an amazing point you've made, man. Because maybe that's what it is. Maybe this whole thing, even mentioning it, I'm going to WWE, is to get more money. And that's really what this is all about, especially in the later on in his career. He's had a lot of fights. He's not that old of a guy, but he has fought a lot.
Yeah.
He has fought a ton. And no matter who you are, that's going to add up, and that will catch up to you. But man, what a good move that would be money-wise. I think fan-wise, I would watch it. That's the thing. At the end of the day, I think a lot of people will be like, I'm tuning in. This is definitely going to get me to tune in. And the WWE loves that too. So I'm guaranteed since he said that, maybe they didn't even know. Maybe he wasn't even on their radar as well. And they thought, okay, get in contact with Jon Jones's people and let's make something happen. WrestleMania is right around the corner, and this is the type of thing when WrestleMania shit happens. But to be a bigger star, sorry, man, I kind of went off topic there, Kelly. To be a bigger star than Brock Lesnar, I think it's very possible. I totally think it's very possible because he could do what Brock Lesnar did, what made Brock Lesnar super popular. Jon Jones can do the exact same thing and maybe do it a little bit better. And I think we could see that, maybe did Brock Lesnar's, health problems keep him away from MMA a little bit more, where Jon Jones is still healthy. So it just makes even more sense for him to go away from MMA for a while, wrestle. The thing is, a lot of these dudes, they go to wrestling think it's going to be easier. It's a bit harder on your body just because of the falls you're taking is the same, similar, not the same. It's similar to taking a punch because the jumps and the falls you were taking is still jarring your brain.
Yes.
It's all jarring your brain no matter what. So he'd have to get off the thought that it's going to be a little bit easier. He could easily negotiate a contract where he's not wrestling as often. Obviously, as I think what we'll see him do is we won't see him at a main capacity. Maybe the champ. I don't know. But it's I could see him being more popular than Brock Lesnar if he does stick with it. If he does, I could totally see it. Moving right along. Speaking of wrestlers who want to join the WWE, is Tito Ortiz was spotted at the WWE Performance Center in Florida this weekend here. They're naming all the people coming down there. They have the big open workouts. Tito making an appearance. We'll see what kind of capacity that was at. He was in TNA for a short period of time. It was like him, Rampage, and I think somebody else as well. They were like kind of like King Mo. and King Mo. They were like the wrestling angle where like the MMA guys are invading TNA. Didn't turn out too well. It definitely didn't turn out too well because they were all still active MMA fighters, right? So you can only do so much, then you got to quit because then you got to go train for a fight or something, right? So I think that's obviously what the undoing of their whole organization was. It seemed like it had a lot of steam behind it when it first started, but that steam quickly fizzled out. But I thought that was really interesting. I think Tito could come over and do something. I think he'd come over and what do you think about that move? Do you think about Tito in the WWE?
I don't know, man. Nuts and bolts might start flying out of his back when he gets slammed for the first time. Plus, he would have to make the doors bigger to fit his head. No,
a little bit, just build like a little bit of an alcove up above.
Exactly.
Just a little Tito ridge.
Yeah, a little Tito ridge
just to be able to fit his noggin through the door.
Oh man, he has so many injuries. I don't think wrestling would be good for him. I think he'd be kidding himself to think that that's a good career.
Wow.
And I think that's the same reason Kane is out for so long, because he had so many injuries, and now he's trying to fly around and take slams and things like that. No, man, if you get that injured. What's his guy's name? Diamond
Dallas Page?
Yeah, Dallas Page. He has like a shit ton of injuries, and he created some yoga.
Yeah, DDP yoga. Yeah,
just for people with back injuries, man. I bet you he wouldn't recommend this shit for people with back injuries.
No, big time. He'd recommend them taking the DDP yoga.
Yeah, the yoga.
He did have a match. He did have a match not too long ago in AEW recently. He looked old though. He looked old. He was very inactive in that match. You know what I mean? He didn't really do a whole heck of a lot.
He did the Hulk Hogan thing where he just kind of walks around and throws them big boots in the face and shit.
He just threw like clotheslines.
Yeah,
that was about it. But it's still, he's old. He started late too. That's the thing about DDP. He started late. He was in a bad car accident. Well, it wasn't. He got hit by a car when he was a teenager. He was when he was walking, he got hit by a car, and it messed up like his hip and his knees and stuff like that. So that's the reason why he has bad problems too. Yeah, obviously wrestling didn't help.
I think theoretically these guys are good for wrestling, but realistically, it's gonna just cause more damage. And the CTE is not gonna get any better either. Yeah. If that's what they're trying to avoid.
No, good call though, Kelly. No, you're 100% right though. Exactly. What kind of capacity? That's what they didn't really announce what kind of capacity he was going to be doing it. Maybe he could be a mouthpiece. Maybe he could be a talking guy, something like that, or a manager or something like that. In only time could tell if he does a little bit of in-ring stuff. But I totally agree with you. His back and his neck, he's had so many surgeries on. Exactly. How are you going to take a punch? How are you going to take any kind of fall?
I like that idea though with the just commentating and stuff like that.
Yeah. I totally like it too. I could think it totally work. He's a great commentator too, or he's a good mouthpiece to be with a team of maybe luchadors or something like that. I think it'd be totally work.
Maybe be like the manager.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's huge, so he can once in a while jump in there.
Well, that's what DDP actually started as. Started just as a manager for a long time, but he was like outshining his team. So eventually they're like, well. There's no you can't work as a manager anymore. You can't do it. So you got to actually be a wrestler. And so he became a wrestler and he actually was super popular. Let's talk some Bellator MMA. And with the uncertainty of what was going to happen with the 185-pound belt, with Rafael Lovato Jr. relinquishing the title due to his brain injury, we have seen two challengers step up to the plate, and that will be Douglas the Phenom Lima taking on Geiger the Dreamcatcher Musashi, going down May 9th for the 185-pound strap. Can't wait for this card to go down. Huge one going down. I believe it's going down in LA. I can't wait for this card to go down, man. What a matchup for a super fight. Douglas Lima trying to step up to 185. They don't really have 185s. That's the biggest problem with Bellator. They really have a terrible 185 division. It was either going to be that or John Salter. Like Salter, Salter. I think he's a good fighter. He's a gritty dude. He's a very tough guy. I'm not discrediting him at all. But if you always kind of have to have UFC as kind of the watermark. UFC is the place where you want to be. Yeah. And so now I'm going to say, how would John Salter do in the UFC? poorly.
That's why he's not in there.
Exactly. I just think he's a small 185. I think he'd have to go down to 170. But he's got heart, but he just doesn't have the physical capabilities. I think 185 division for Bellator is really thin, and I think this kind of makes sense. It makes sense. They're still going to the super fight method. I think for the vacant title, it makes sense because the title's up for grabs. Really, the division's in disarray. All their up-and-comers who were supposed to win lost, and now we're stuck with this one here. And it's the only fight that makes sense. It would have to be Gegard Mousasi versus somebody. And Douglas Lima, why not? Douglas Lima called him out, and they gave it to him. I like it. I hope Douglas Lima gets paid for it. I definitely see this one going to Gegard Mousasi. I think Lima's tough, but I don't think he's good enough on the ground to hang with Gegard Mousasi. I know he's good on the ground. His stand-up is his thing, but I think Gegard's stand-up is just a bit better, and his ground game, I think, is where this fight will be separated. I think we're going to see a lot of clinches during this fight as well. I think Gegard will like to try to wear out Douglas Lima because Douglas Lima, his gas tank has been better than it's been, but his gas tank is definitely not his strong suit, and Gegard Mousasi's gas tank has always been one of his stronger suits, and I see the hand being raised. It's obviously he's got to be the favorite. He is the 185-pound former champ. He is the 185-pound in the 185-pound division, so it just makes sense that the dude going up to 185. But it leaves for a interesting story, and the story will be told come May 9th in the ring.
I like these David versus Goliath fights, but I think I have to agree with you. Gegard's just going to be a little bit too big for him, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I'd love to see how they size up. I think that's what I always love about fights, you know what I mean, and the mano-a-mano stuff. So that's one thing I've always go by is how do these dudes size up? You know what I mean? That's just an instinct. You know what I mean? How do these guys size up? And I want to see how they size up. I'm excited about though. An interesting matchup I wanted to talk about was Claudia Gadelha will be taking on Marina Rodriguez, UFC Oklahoma. I'm really excited about that, and I thought it was an interesting matchup because this Marina Rodriguez, she is tough, and they're giving her a very tough challenge in a fan and a show favorite in Claudia Gadelha. Let's break it down here though a little bit. I wasn't quite sure who she was, so I wanted to check out who this woman fighter is. 6 degrees of separation, Marina Rodriguez. Fighting out of Brazil, fighting in the strawweight division. She's currently ranked number 9th in the strawweight ranking, which is pretty tough. That's a pretty tough division. She's only 5'7". How old is she? 32. Fighting out of Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil. Let's break down her record here. Whoopsie daisy, pushing the wrong buttons here on the show. I think she's undefeated. Yeah, 12-0. Two draws though. That's kind of weird.
I mean, she's boring.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Pretty much. You're going to draw usually means you're boring. Lots of decisions too. Let's see here. She's got 12 wins, 5 by knockout, 1 by submission, 6 by decision, and 2 no contests.
That's not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, so she went to a draw with Cynthia Calvillo, beat Tisha Torres by decision, beat Jessica Aguilar, tough, very tough as well. She goes to draw with Rana Marcos. She looks like she's been just fighting. Oh, she fought in the Contender Series. She won on the Contender Series. Looks like that was her TKO. Got her on. That's the time you want to get that TKO. And then basically looks like fighting out of Brazil. Yeah, fighting out of Brazil from there. So, what a story, to get a plane ticket to Las Vegas to fight your heart out one night, one fight, winner takes all type thing. And she made the most of it. But she's still 2-0-2. You know what I mean? Kind of weird. 2 wins, no losses, and 2 draws for her UFC. It's kind of odd. Yeah. So generally, can't really tell what kind of fighter. I can't recall any of her fights, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen her fight. When was her last one? She was on the Overeem versus Rosenstruck card, but it was probably the undercard. Oh, and Cynthia Calvillo missed weight. And when did she fight? Oh, she fought Tisha Torres in Uruguay. Oh, that's kind of cool. Pennsylvania. Yeah, interesting. Let's see. There's really not much news about her. She's not really. What is she? She's a black belt in Muay Thai and a blue belt in Jiu-Jitsu. So yeah, really not a real jiu-jitsu practitioner. She's like a very tough woman. Interesting. Only time will tell how that card breaks down. One bit of odd news I wanted to talk about was for the Israel Adesanya versus Yoel Romero fight. There is going to be a standby fighter in for it, Kelly. Kind of odd. You don't hear about this too often. But with two dudes, who have, I don't think Israel's ever missed a fight, but Yoel has missed a few piss tests. So I think that's the reason why they have this standby guy is Jared Cannonier. I thought, man, great move. Great move. I like that. And what a step up for Jared Cannonier. Really get to be the standby. And what's even crazier about it, he still gets the full purse. So he gets a purse, like a showing up purse, if he doesn't fight. So as a standby, I thought, man, well, that's really, really cool. And especially for him, that's got to be a good sign, that the company you're working for wants you to be the runner-up dude. I thought, man, why the hell not? I thought a guy that's none more deserving than Jared Cannonier. The other really cool thing is if they do so if they get closer to the fight night and they, nothing's gone wrong, they'll give him a fight. And that rumor is going to be Darren Till. So that'd be a really cool matchup. So Darren Till versus Jared Cannonier, but it's rumored that Darren Till wants nothing to do with Jared Cannonier. So it's kind of so he's like, no, I'm not taking that fight. No thanks. No thanks. I'm not taking that fight.
Money talks.
I guess so. So we're almost having two really good plan B scenarios. Say Israel goes down for an injury, then we see Jared Cannonier versus Yoel Romero. That's a really good fight. I want to watch that. Yeah. And then vice versa. We see, Romero,
old age. He's like 50, right?
I think he's in his 40s. Yeah, I know he's in his 40s. But then we see that, Then we see Cannonier versus Adesanya, which wouldn't be a terrible matchup. And then, But I like actually Darren Till versus Jared Cannonier. So we see a dude, Jared Cannonier, come from the heavyweight division. He fought a heavyweight. Dion had a few wins, a few more losses. Goes down to light heavyweight. Same thing. You think he was like 50-50. Couldn't really get it done. Goes down to 185, and now he is a dude who finally found his spot. He finally found that square peg for the square hole. And here we see a dude where now he could be fighting for the belt next win. He gets one more win, he's definitely getting a title shot. And potentially here he could be getting a title shot. So I thought really, really cool that they even have this thing for somebody, a standby fighter. It has happened in the past. You don't see too much about it. But I thought it was a really cool little story for a dude who's really fought his ass off his whole life. But what's cool, it'll be what is Darren Till's nickname?
The Gorilla.
Yeah, the Gorilla. It'll be the Killa Gorilla versus the Gorilla. Because Jared Cannonier's nickname is the Killa Gorilla. Kind of cool.
He's like the opposite of Rumble Johnson, who all he had to do was eat a couple more meals.
Yeah.
And start knocking people out.
Yeah, exactly. Darren Till's a big guy for 185 even. But it'd be funny if he he pulls an AJ Styles and they don't want none. And lastly, just want to I'm going to break down this show, not right now, a little bit down the road here. UFC 250 just made a huge announcement for that card, and it will be Fabricio Verdum versus Alexei Olenek. UFC 250, Fabricio Verdum making his return to the UFC after all of his failed piss tests. Have to go for another huge one here before this one.
Huge piss test?
Huge. Because if he fails this one, he can kiss his MMA career goodbye. But it is in Brazil, so we'll see what happens. I really like that matchup. Grappling aces going at it. UFC 250. I'm going to break down this card. Maybe not next show or the show afterwards once they start announcing more. But this card is really turning out to be a mega card. And in Brazil, I can't imagine who else they're going to announce. Maybe Anderson Silva. Maybe Anderson Silva, something like that. A retirement bout for him. I would like to see that matchup, but UFC 250, I cannot say enough about it. I got a feeling something big's going to be announced for it, and I cannot wait. Especially Brazil. Brazil, they just love UFC, love it so much. I can't see why they wouldn't put on a good show for them. The possibilities are endless. I'm excited though, man. Possibilities are endless. One to talk about people's piss test. Holly Holmes, the first person, man or woman, to have 50 successful tests. Been tested 50 times. 50 times, piss clean. Good for her.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. You know what I mean? Never pissed hot. Just she's really, really tough. You know what I mean? Just shows some people are just naturally born tough. Or really good at hiding it. One or the other.
Well, TJ gave a shot.
Oh, one or the other. How about wraps up the news there? Good. There's tons of news this week, man. Tons of news. Let's talk some video games. Played a ton of Orna this week. Got a funny story. To tell. So, just the area we play. I've talked about there's one dude and there's another, his buddy. One dude just everywhere. He's got like tons and tons of spots. He's everywhere. And the other guy's just like his buddy, and they're super hard to beat. You know what I mean? Whatever. But somebody started a Discord group for everyone to chat and talk and shit, like for the GVRD, Greater Vancouver Regional District. You know what I mean? And I was like, I don't really want to join. I don't want to say something that's, maybe people would get, people would be, think of, I'm offensive or something like that. It's not like I'm overly offensive, but you never could tell what kind of people you're going to see in these groups. You know what I mean? Just talking normally, they could be offended, right? You know what I mean? So it didn't take long for me and this other dude to kind of get into minor death stuff. I don't want to get into all the details, but you know what I mean? I just do a little bit of trash talk, man. And the guy couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle it. It's not my fault. You want to be this big, huge, tough guy. You can't take a little bit of trash talk. So he got super offended by it, awfully. That's what I'm saying. All I had said, why you got to change your class? Because that's what this dude does. I'll be taking over spots, and he'll change his class to be, so I can't take us spots over so quickly, right? But earlier in the week, he's saying, I don't care about spots anymore. Don't care about spots. Since they did change the rankings, that's the reason why he left. That's why I had said, because they changed the ranking system. So he was gone for 2 weeks. And he came back because of this guy. He's like, oh, come back. And he started the Discord channel and wanted him to join so everyone could talk and be fucking buddy. Not gonna happen. So I'm like just doing a little bit of trash talk. And the guy gets all butthurt. He gets all butthurt about it. And he's like saying, and then he goes to the bottom of the well and pulls out that I'm too invested in the game. You know what I mean? That I'm taking it too seriously. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I just asked a simple question, and you're still not giving me an answer. And then you go to say that I'm taking this game too seriously. Newsflash, man. You have 7,000 spots. I have 300 spots. So 7,000 places he's traveled to, Kelly. You know what I mean? So, and you want to say that I'm taking it too seriously? I just thought I was like, what the hell, man? But like I said, I was going to tear him apart, but I just said that, and he's like, I apologize. So he apologized. You can't attack someone who apologizes. He apologized. He took all this shit way out of, he had a little bit, this is what this guy does, though. He wants to say that, I'm being the aggressor, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. But he was the one who was doing it all. You know what I mean? He was the one who instantly, didn't joke around with me. He's instantly one who went and said that, go to the extent of saying, I'm taking this game too seriously. Yeah, okay. But like I said, he apologized. Everything's been good. But I just thought it was kind of funny. We got, one of these fucking internet keyboard arguments. You know what I mean? I avoid them at all costs. That's the kind of reason why I didn't want to join this thing. But this guy, he tried to want to argue, and he was a terrible arguer. I feel sorry for him. That's the kind of way that I didn't want to tear him up anymore too. He was terrible at arguing. He was terrible at it. But we're buddies now. No, whatever. I'm probably just not gonna. I'll just read it. I won't put my 2 cents in. It's all good. But got to Grand Leviathan, grinded 10 million Orns, Kelly, in 2 weeks.
Nice.
Super tough, yeah. So I just doing boss gauntlets, just grinding away in boss gauntlets like crazy. I've actually jumped in rankings now too. I'm 11th now in the region too, so that's pretty cool. And really, I'm just having fun with it, but I haven't really, used the Grand Leviathan that much. I've only had it for 2 days. I got to obviously change my specialization because I know that have the tamer specialization without being the Bahamut is really kind of a waste. So got to change my specialization, and I'm kind of interested to see what I'm going to try out. And but I used every dime though. Obviously, I used every Orn I had. So to get the 200,000 is a bit of a grind right now, especially I'm not doing my daily commute, so where I can easily grind up stuff and get the shrines to up my Orn intake. But hey, I'm just just kind of fitting, seeing what's going to work, seeing what's not going to work. Do I go? That's kind of crazy about this class, Kelly. It's not, it's one of the final classes. They did announce the class 10 classes too. They're really expensive, but those have been announced now too. But it's kind of weird because I'm not a dude where I could go either way. I can use any type of gear I want. Doesn't matter for what class it's for. I can wear every single piece of gear. But I'm also at a point where I could go more towards physical attacks, or do I go stick with what I've been the whole game and magic attacks? But I could be a little bit of both. You know what I mean? But if I go a bit more, I don't really have the gear to go more physical, but it wouldn't be kind of, do I change up now and say, what the hell? Why not? You know what I mean? So I'm kind of at a crossroads right now. I got some gear that I'm going to be testing out and different spell setups and shit like that, but it's kind of cool. It is cool. That's the main thing. I can't be hit. People can't hit me. That's the main thing. And I hit pretty hard too. So, but that's the main thing. Just I dodge everything, especially when my health gets below 50%. It's basically impossible, even for the raid bosses, to hit me. Just everything misses. So it's interesting. I really haven't tried it out that much. Like I said, on the way here, it was the first time I played it as this class. So that was kind of fun and just testing it out. It is a lot easier and I'm interested to see where this takes me. Where this takes me for the game, how well I hold my spots against dudes, and how well I can attack other people. I'm kind of the new game again. Having a new class. I was Bahamut Tamer and the Necromancer for so long, but here we are. And I picked my game. What game did I pick out of the huge library of the Xbox Game Pass?
Dun dun dun.
What game did I pick? I went a little off. Not too much off the beaten track for games I like, but I went a little bit off, and I went with Monster Hunter's World. Good game. Not great game. No, that's the only thing. It's fun. It is fun. I think it would be a lot more fun with buddies and shit like that. It's the game is very Japanese. Obviously, you know what I mean.
Wow, that's kidding.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's definitely like was made for the Japanese fans and then translated into English for us commoners over here in North America and shit. But it, like, you know what I mean, you play the style. I love that style for a lot of games. I love the Japanese style of tons of games. It's tons and tons of games out there that I love. Yeah, of course. That's what I was gonna say. Exactly, super fun. But with this one here, it's just a bit. It's, you know what I mean? I don't know what to say, really. It seems a bit repetitive all right off the bat. I think that's the hardest part about it. It's, like one of those games that's very customizable. RPG, very customizable with what different weapons you have. They give you all the weapons right off the bat, so you can kind of pick what style of fighter you want to be. There's tons of different shit: swords and shields, spears, bows, guns, and that's what I went with. I went with one of the heavy guns. I thought, I didn't even know this was an option when I was reading about the game or people were talking about the game. I didn't even know you could have guns. So I thought, oh, cool, I'll pick a gun then. I'll pick a gun. This will be fun. And they're pretty basic. That's the only thing about the guns. Maybe that's the reason why. The gun is pretty basic. There's no combos with it. It's basically using different types of ammo that you can use, and you have a special ability, and that's about it. And then just dodging with it, right?
Yeah.
So did you ever play the series?
Kelly?
Oh yeah. It like I said, it's very similar to a lot of other games of the same genre of that RPG open world genre. Very, very similar. I mean, that's what it was too. But it just when it came down to it, the hunting of the monsters kind of annoyed me. It kind of annoyed me at the end of the day. I thought it was cool, the different monsters you can get, you go up against, and they are different, and they all do different things, but the running away became tedious, and then you're on a time limit, so I felt kind of stressed. I don't like any game when they give you a time limit, so I kind of felt stressed, especially the first level, too. The first level I was playing, it was... I had smoked a little before I played the game, so
okay.
That's the best way to enjoy a good video game. And I didn't realize there was a time limit, so I'm searching after this dinosaur, and I was supposed to find all the shit that leads up to him, like I can track him, right? So eventually I can track him. I get my tracking meter up to a certain point where I find like footprints or scrapings or his shit, his dung, and then I'd be able to track him down, and then I didn't realize this, and then all of a sudden I'm just collecting items and like killing little dudes and like slowly leveling up, you know what I mean? And next thing I know, I got like 20 minutes left. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't even know there was a time limit. And I'm like, oh shit, I gotta really fucking find this dinosaur now. And then he just the son of a bitch kept running away from me. You know what I mean? I beat him up to a certain point, and then he runs for it. It's like, what the hell? Now I gotta chase after him. So like I said, I just thought it was a bit tedious. I thought it would get a little different, but every dinosaur's like that. Every single dinosaur's like that. You beat them up, then they run. You beat them up, and then they run. And you get the shit from them. But I think that's the other hard part too, is because it's like since the game is older, and they had like a 1 million download special or something like that. I started off the game with this incredible armor, my armor is super jacked up. So I think that's maybe it too. All these dinosaur parts and shit I'm collecting, I can't even use it for myself because it's worthless. The armor I make out of it is way worse than the armor I started off with. So maybe that's a little bit of it too. Yeah. I don't really feel that I'm collecting for any reason. You know what I mean? You have this little cat guy with you, though. He's your little helper. He's pretty cool. He's got a name. He's kind of cool, but you can upgrade his armor and weapons. So that's what I've just been doing with all these dinosaurs, all these rare dinosaurs I kill. I've just been upgrading his equipment. So it's got its ups, but I just didn't see. Like I said, at this Game Pass, if I don't like a game, I'm not gonna really grind through it. I don't have to. I got other games I can play, and that other game was Age of Wonders, Planetfall. Got into it just a little bit though. Just a little bit. I could see this one's not going to be a game I'm going to play forever ever too. But it's a lot of fun. I did enjoy it. It's like Civilization, but like more a turn-based with your troops. So I love these little games, these Civilization kind of, battle. Ah, shit. You know what I'm talking about? It's like these real-time strategy, but it's also just a strategy game too, where you're moving your pieces like checkers on a board, like chess pieces, and then when they do battle, then you actually go to a different battle screen, kind of like the Warhammer games. You've seen all the Warhammer games on the Xbox, stuff like that, where it's turn-based. It's kind of on a grid, where those ones you move a guy a certain amount of distance, any direction, but this one's kind of on a grid, so you move your guys on a grid. Certain dudes can shoot certain dudes. They have tons of different races, and it's a lot of fun. I'm finding actually pretty fun. Each troop can be upgraded too, so I always love that. Even when you're an individual soldier, you're just your foot soldier. The more battles he's been in, the more experience he earns, and he doesn't really get anything special. He just gets tougher. He gets a little tougher, and I think I've always loved that shit too. So you have that one little guy, like, wow, man, this is that one soldier I've had since the beginning. He's a captain now. I can't let him die. You get like heroes in it too. And different stuff. So it's a lot like that. It's very similar to Civilization, though, if I can say anything, but just more active with your dudes. Your troops are more cool and space agey style. I'd say if you're into games like that, give it a shot, because I'm actually kind of into it right now. I'm checking it out, and all the diplomacy shit that's going on right now too. It's kind of interesting as well. So you can obviously just do random maps, right? You just do random maps. And the diplomacy, it is similar to Civilization as well. And I'm just kind of wrapping my head around that, because everyone's just threatening me. No one's being nice out there. Everyone's just threatening me. Give them stuff. So it's kind of weird. But fun. I'm really excited about playing more of it. I can't wait to get to it. And right now I'm in a mission where I'm just floundering a little bit, just kind of just getting used to the battling, really. The battling is interesting. The battling is fun. You just turn-based, move your guy here, shoot, and you can flank guys and do different stuff. So it's actually pretty well thought out. It's very well thought out. And it's a lot of fun. So it's always keeping me on my toes. That's what's crazy. It's not like Civilization where you're just like next turn. No, there's always something going on, and it's a lot of fun. What kind of video game did you get up to this weekend, Kelly?
Apex Legends.
Nice.
Yeah, so they reset the ranked leagues, and I made it back to gold already.
Nice. Wow.
Trying to get back to platinum.
What a pro.
I'm enjoying a lot of the things they did, like the new map, and I don't mind the whole sniper ammo and sniper clips anymore. It's okay, whatever. If I don't want to play with a sniper rifle game, I just won't grab it in the beginning. I usually change it up, like whether I find a shotgun first or a sniper rifle first. I'll use whatever I find first, basically. And then, man, like I was just having a terrible time with teams.
Oh no! Just like bad luck after bad luck after bad luck,
just always bad teams. I just need to find people. My name's Quick Kells on Xbox Live. There's a space between the Quick and the Kells.
How do you spell that, Kelly?
Kells. Quick Kells with a space. Send me a message if you're gonna add me. Don't just add me, otherwise I'm not gonna pay attention to you. I need someone who if someone's in combat, you fucking stop looting, stop what you're doing, run and join them. Right?
Yeah,
it's always better with more numbers are better. It doesn't matter if you have a shitty gun. If there's a bunch of people distracting the guy and shooting at him, he's gonna die. Then the rest of his team comes. At least you have 3 against 2 because 2 people are coming instead of there's 3 now. Anyways, it just gets worse and worse. I need people so often. I'll have it where someone's in combat, so run to help them, I will knock down 2 guys, and a third guy will like come in and shoot a couple guys, get injured or whatever when we're all in combat. He'll leave and start like recharging his shields and shit while the other guy's lifting the other people and reviving them.
Yeah.
And then they all heal up, and then it's 3-on-1.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna do better on 3-on-1 than if you just died in combat? Like, just it's a video game. Be a man, die in combat. If that's the issue, always help your team. Stop looting. If you're gonna die, you're gonna die. Fuck it. It's always gonna be better if you have a team.
Yeah, of course.
Like through the whole game, you need a team. Very few situations where one guy can win the whole thing, which can happen. But sometimes there's like multiple badass players on the same server. You're not always gonna get a whole server full of cans. So yeah, drop everything there, help your team.
Yeah.
Second thing is, don't loot when you kill everybody instead of reviving. Like, that's some bullshit.
Wow.
That person needs to heal up his shields, heal up his life. You don't know if he's just having a bad game, or maybe he just got blindsided by a couple players. And
what
he
a
might
dirty
be super
move.
good. Yeah, he might be a super good player. Don't just fucking loot everybody then revive him, because what if another team jumps in, which happens so often, actually, especially after you kill another team and it
they
makes
heard
all
the
that
they
noise.
heard the commotion. They're gonna go towards it.
Yeah, so just fucking revive your team so they can heal up and then start looting.
Wow.
Don't be a dick about it.
What a dick move.
Yeah. And yeah, I just need people that are fucking team oriented so we can play the game together. And also when you land in a building in the very beginning, don't land in the exact same building. like there's enough loot for everybody, you know what I mean? Don't just fucking take everything that. Man.
No, that's the dumbest strategy ever. Why would you land beside me? Now we're just gonna be fighting for loot. That's a great fucking strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll end up with nothing and you'll end up with some. Or hey, here's the other option. I'll end up with everything and you'll end up with none.
Yeah,
good strategy.
I landed in a building where I had like one Mozambique before. Like, we can't share a Mozambique. Fucking land somewhere else.
Exactly. The 10 Apex Commandments by Kelly here.
Yeah, so that's my
No, I hear you.
But yeah, I made it back to gold. Yeah, that's about it. There's lots of cool stuff on the new battle pass.
Nice. That's all the followers we have on Twitter are basically Apex followers. That's basically the majority of our followers.
Nice.
So maybe we should do something like that on like Twitter or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if they listen to the show.
I've been doing really well with the R99.
Yeah.
Better than the what is it? The assault rifle version. I forget what the fuck it's called. I may have drank a little too much.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I've been doing really well with the R99 and Peacekeeper, or like R99 and a I don't know, like a combo, like a sniper rifle.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, been cutting people down pretty good. And a Prowler. I
Really?
think the Prowler and the R99 must have got a buff.
Huh.
Because I've been doing really well with both of them.
Nice.
Yeah. That's about it.
Nice. So hit us up on Twitter @andnewpodcast. Kelly's fucking DMs, and we'll get you guys hooked up with a star quality player.
Oh, I need extroverted people who like talking to each other but don't want me to talk because I don't like talking. Thank you. So there's like 2 extroverts on my team who don't want me to talk. Thanks.
Strictly talk about Apex.
Yeah.
Call out your points.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh, there's another thing. Fucking, if someone's shooting at you, tag them. Because I can't shoot at the person you're shooting at if I don't know what the fuck they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man.
Come on.
That pisses me off, too.
People tagging like ammo and shit. It's like, I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Tag where the guys are shooting. Or where you're going to shoot at if you see people.
Good idea.
Like, tag them first and start shooting.
Tag away.
Otherwise, I'm just, like, running around fucking just trying to look for somebody. Like, there's been so often where I'm, like, running around a building up and down and just fucking running everywhere, following the guy who's shooting and getting shot at, but I don't fucking see anybody.
Come on, people. Tag it. So we'll see. I'll see how long Planetfall lasts me. I think I'm gonna play it. I think it seems like actually a fun game. I'll play a little bit of it and we'll see what happens.
Cool.
Maybe some Apex 2. Who knows? Destiny 2 is still free. But I got the Game Pass. I can't really get off of this thing.
Yeah.
Well then, let's take a little bit of a breather here. We will be right back after these brief messages.
Have you ever needed to get to the other side of the world and didn't know how? Planes, helping you travel to destinations over oceans and shit. I don't know where I'm going with this. Planes.
Tired of the sun beating down on your head? Golly, it's hot. Can't keep your head dry in the rain? Jeez Louise, I'm soaked. Try hats. Ball caps, cowboy hats, even fancy hats. Anything will do as a hat. Try one today.
Can I use a cat as a hat?
Why, yes you can.
That's gonna be one wet pussy.
And while enjoying a plane ride coast to coast, or walking around outside in your hat, be sure to drink plenty of cold, clean water. Refrain from bottled water, 'cause that shit sucks. Stick with the tap, it's all good. Brought to you by the Water Company. Welcome back, folks. Hope you enjoyed our commercials, and go grab yourself a cold, tall glass of water on the house. Tap water, that is. Back by popular demand. Reviewing the reviews. Let's get to it. Let's go to the well. I was going to do a coast-to-coast thing here with Walmart, and let's get this thing started. I wanted to kind of start in the South, though. I love the South, and I'm going smack dab right in the middle, Biloxi, Mississippi, with Walmart. Let's do it here. It's kind of fucked up. The place actually has got a lot of good reviews. Walmart got a lot of good reviews? That's weird. Biloxi, step your game up. 4.1 stars, 2,450 reviews. Everyone liking it, though. That's what's weird about this. 5 stars everywhere, Kelly. Look at this. Someone had an issue with a birthday cake, and they reimbursed money right away. Excellent customer service. As usual, they had everything I wanted. So super weird. Okay, here's a good one. Here's a weird one. Okay, I like this one. Okay, cool. This person getting on their soapbox here. I love this. MZ, 67 reviews, 104 photos, 3 stars, 2 weeks ago. Big, boring, and getting more big and boring with every moment that passes. Too bad so many small mom and pop shops closed because of this big, boring superpower. ... And then, is that an exclamation point? No, it's an I. Okay, I thought they did like a ... and then exclamation point. That'd be awesome. I mean, supermarket. Ugh. I love this, man. But you still gave him 3 stars, though. Really, they hated everything about it, but still gave him 3 stars. That's what's even the weirdest part about this person getting on their soapbox and grandstanding about how, how this Walmart is taking over the world. This review is 2 weeks ago. That's newsflash. Walmart's pretty old and been doing this for quite a long time. Well done. I think you're a bit behind the times. And to make a political gripe by a review. Love it. Like, what a terrible place to do it. Yeah, problem solved. Hats off to you. You griped about it, about some political incorrectness via a Google review. Problem solved, man. People are gonna stop going there now. I'm really glad you really went above and beyond to really change the world.
Wow.
Love it.
That's amazing.
Stupid people. You get 1 star for just being an asshole. Really? But they still give him 3 stars too. You think you'd give him 1 star for that? This person likes it because it's near the beach. That's kind of weird. What does that have to do with anything?
Nice. By the beach, bro.
Someone mad there's not enough cashiers. Okay, here we go. This person just has a bunch of letters as their name, so I'm just gonna go with Y. 8 reviews, 1 star, 1 month ago. asked two associates for some help. They both acted like they were calling somebody they then left. Hire better workers. Weird. Okay.
That's hilarious.
So he walks. Man. This guy walks up. Excuse me, can you help me? He's like, "Oh, what was that? I'm coming. Yeah, sorry, I can't."
Like,
that's
hey,
good.
You know where like the I don't know, the lumber is. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, just give me a second. I'll just give this guy over here," and he just fucking goes.
I'm helping somebody else right now. I don't see anybody else. I'll be right back. That's Walmart for you. I love that.
They're both hiding.
I love
like,
that.
The employee lounge right now.
I love that. Here's this person mad at the other customers, mad at the parking lot. It's a bit too long. It's 3 paragraphs. I think I gotta cut you off at 2 paragraphs. 3 paragraphs. Kind of weird. Person was very weird. Someone saying it was clean. Wow. Someone saying that Walmart was clean. Must be a lot of fake reviews. These look like fake reviews to me. Lots of love for this Walmart. Always good customer service? Oh, as long as they can be found? That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Hard to find the single review here. Someone's saying one was it's better than the other one. Here we go. Perfect. JK, 8 reviews, 1 photo, 1 star 3 months ago. Horrible experience. Employees are locking the aisles, sold out of common items, and only 2 cashiers essentially forcing me to scan and bag my own groceries, which I do not get paid to do. There's a lot of people mad at the self-checkout when I'm scamming through all this stuff. Like everyone's like, "Oh, I love it, but I don't like to use a self-checkout." Weird, eh? These people don't. They can't figure it out. Here we go. Boom. Only review found it here, Kelly. JM, 1 review, 1 star a month ago. I was shopping and had good help from employees. However. However, the Subway restaurant was repulsive.
What?
When they were making my sandwich, they smashed a fly in it. After I found a hair in it. So disgusted. They're gonna smash a fly in your sandwich right in front of you. That's not gonna happen. I would have just walked off right then. Right then and there, I would have just walked away. And then he still ate it, and he found a fucking, and there was a hair in it. Give me a break, you know what I mean? I would have just walked away. Hey, then gave Subway a bad review.
Yeah, Subway.
Yeah, not Walmart. I know, exactly. And even to say the people at Walmart were great, but I guess maybe they had a Subway built in, but still, the Subway isn't run by Walmart employees. It's Subway. Yeah. 2 different companies. I love that though. But seriously, that's a bull-faced lie. They're gonna smash. How are you gonna make it? Then physically, Kelly, how are you gonna be able to have enough force to squash a fly in a sandwich? I'm gonna assume it's gonna have the bread is if it's just bread, way too soft. It's not you're gonna be able to smash a fly into bread. That son of a bitch gonna fly off. Especially those Mississippi flies. They're way bigger. You know what I'm saying? And then second of all, you know what I mean? He's going to probably have some lettuce or something. You can't smash a fly into lettuce. And then third of all, like, I would just been like, peace out. See you later, guys. You can keep the sub. I'm not eating it. And then to actually still eat the sub, even if they cleaned it all off. Yeah. Okay, I'll just put new ingredients on. No thanks. I'm going somewhere else. Love it. That's a really good one. Really, really good one. I think I'm going to end on a high note. I'm going to end on a high note on that one.
Superfly sub.
Exactly, Superfly sub. She was a super freak fly. But yeah, that's about it. Let's end it here. No, end on that one. We're running a little long tonight, so we'll a shorter version. Walmart and Biloxi did it. Pretty good. Just too much love, which is very weird for a Walmart, Kelly. Weird. America, get your shit together. You like Walmarts? Very weird. Let's break it down. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 10. Lombard versus Mundell. I only saw the highlights. Kelly didn't see shit. Oh. No. So let's break down just the highlights here. Dat Nagoyan, surprisingly enough, really being a fucking... He's a littler dude, 125 pound, but man, he's actually getting some good fights. I've seen his fight before too. Really tough little dude, and he defeats Abdel Velasquez by KO, knocking him out and getting blood on the camera. He splattered the camera with blood. Wow. Yeah, that's the reason why that one was really cool.
That's one to watch.
I know, exactly. And then we see a whole whackload of decisions after Ulysses Diaz knocks out with a TKO Brian Maxwell. That was a good one too. Nothing special about it. Really no one else really on the card. Oh, Lorenzo Hunt was on it. He loses to Gustavo Trujillo by TKO in the first round too. Luis Palomino making his Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship debut, taking the decision over Elvin Brito. You know what I mean? Big fighter from WSOF. Had a great battle with Justin Gaethje over there back when the WSOF was around. And Jim Ehlers goes to decision with Caleb Harris. It was a tournament quarterfinals. So I think that's one thing they do need is more belts. I think they really need some more belts here.
Yeah.
More championships, really. More champions. Because really, that was it for the card, really. Hector Lombard does defeat David Mundell by unanimous decision. He actually looked pretty good. I thought he actually looked pretty good. The highlights I saw, he was pretty quick. He was really bull rushing the dude and landing some pretty decent shots. I think that's always been the hardest part for Hector Lombard is his gas tank, and he actually looked pretty darn good. Third round, he obviously got a little bit tired, but the rest of the fight, he was actually really pushing the pace and didn't look terrible at all. I think it could be a good fit for him. Who knows?
Also, I'm glad he can do steroids again.
Yeah, lots of them.
Yeah.
I think this would have to be a bit of a stumble for Bare Knuckle. You know what I mean? They've had a lot of really, really good matchups, and just to have this as your main event, I don't think a lot of people are coming for Hector Lombard. I don't think anyone really was like, oh, Hector Lombard's fighting. No one really would say that.
Yeah.
Even back in his prime in MMA. You know what I mean? No one was really going. He wasn't really drawing people to his events. I think this could have maybe been one that where they lost a lot of money on.
He's an exciting fighter. He's just not like, I don't know, like a Johnny Jones Bones or something bad or Conor McGregor.
Doesn't have a great record too. And he's put on some stinkers. That's the thing, right? He's had a few good fights, but I think he may have had one more stinker than a real good barn burner.
It's more like a Uriah Hall.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, when he turns it on, he can really turn it on, but sometimes he just can't find it or just doesn't have the will to want to do it or something like that. Good call, Kelly. Let's break it down. UFC Fight Night 167. Anderson versus Blachowicz 2. Good card. I actually did enjoy it. I thought it was actually pretty good for the altitude in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, the Santa Ana Star Center. It wasn't bad. You catch this one, Kelly?
Yep.
Yeah, nice. I didn't catch the undercard. I've caught a few of the highlights on the undercard, but I didn't see too much of the undercard. Scott Holzman and Jim Miller won the Fight of the Night bonuses going into decision. That was actually a pretty decent one. Devin Clark beats Dequan Townsend. Dequan Townsend had the last second call up, and Devin Clark said he would pay, and he did. A lot of local guys. They obviously had a lot of New Mexico guys in this one with John Dodson getting the TKO win over Nathan Wood.
That was a good fight.
Yeah, that was a good fight. Yeah, basically saying afterwards too, keep sending me all these young guys that are supposed to beat me. That's how John Dodson will keep his name in there. Daniel Rodriguez really putting on a beatdown on Tim Means. That was a really good one too. Really just beating him up and then getting the guillotine choke where it was almost like a Darce choke, I think, really. And getting the choke and that's weird they have it listed as a guillotine. That's clearly a Darce choke. But either way, he gets the win in a real nice fashion. He had no choice but to tap. Tim Means was already loopy, and then to get that choke locked on as tight as it was, he was gonna be knocked out if he didn't tap out. Lando Venata versus Yancy Medeiros. That was actually a really good back and forth. Lando Venata really kicking his his stand-up's almost on a different level. You know, Yancy Medeiros is a very tough dude and is also very, very tricky with his striking. But we saw Venata just get the nod, just, you know, easily all 3 rounds to none. He just was too creative with his striking. Really good on his, not wanting to get tied up. And when he did go to the ground, he was really good, but really landing some really beautiful crisp shots. Ray Borg gets the win over Rodrigo Bontirin. Kind of a boring fight, you know what I mean? That one really, you know what I mean? What did you expect for 125-pounders? I thought it was stupid because the whole Ray Borg thing, saying if he missed weight again, he was going to retire. Yeah. And he was like, you know what? Maybe I won't retire if I miss weight. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's why you don't make dumb statements like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? For example, why you don't say you're going to retire if something happens, because surprise, you failed your piss test again. And you don't have any excuses. So you're like, yeah, well, I'm still going to come back. You know what I mean? So, dude, this is 4th failed weigh-in. You know what I mean? 4th failed weigh-in.
You don't make jokes about retirement, and you don't get your record tattooed on you like Alex Gustafsson before you start losing.
Woo! Hey, you don't want those other ones on there? Oh, shit. He gets a boring win. You know, Ray Borg, no one gives a shit about you, man, anyway, so just make weight and go about your business. Really? You know what I mean? It's not my fault it's 125. Brock Weaver. We see the beginning of the illegal knees. Brock Weaver getting the win by DQ from that illegal knee. Man, was that ever a knee, eh? That one really knocked him out. You know, Rodrigo Vargas. Good on him.
Completely.
Brock Weaver didn't look that good up until that. He was getting the shit kicked out of him, too. Yeah. You know, but that knee knocked him out. You know, he totally went limp after that, and he didn't even really know what was going on, really. Mm-hmm. That knee really connected right in the mouth, too. It connected him right in the mouth. There was no way he didn't get hurt from that. And he was like, no, I'm fine. You know, but they're like, the referee instantly was like, no, fight's over.
He was saying I'm fine while shaking.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not fine. Your eyes are like going everywhere.
Is that you can't stand? You know what I mean? But fine. Good for him to say, "Hey, I will fight him again," because Rodrigo Vargas was beating the fuck out of him. Yeah. He was really, you know, what I mean, really winning a lot on the stand up on the ground. Like he was in that bad position and ate that knee. Mm-hmm. He was gonna eat something else. You know what I mean? That would have put him out. I like the Brock Weaver story, and I think he could be a really good fighter. I just don't know if right now if he's got, you know, he looks like he's got the size. Mm-hmm. He's got the size. I think he just needs a bit more experience. And I think we'll see one hell of a fighter out of Brock Weaver. You just got to get a few more pieces of the puzzle into place. He's very young. He just won the Contender Series fight, and then he gets his shot here. So you know what I mean, that's a big call up to come up to, you know, even if it is a fight night, still the sky's the limit. I think for this guy, the only person that's going to set that it will be him, is how high he can set that rung of how high he can reach. But I would like to see that rematch. Actually, I would like, because those guys were both going at, but Rodrigo Vargas was really the better of the exchanges. And then we see Montana De La Rosa getting the decision win over Mara Romero Borella. That one wasn't a very good fight either. It was kind of boring. But like I said, it's just a fight night. What do we expect especially for New Mexico? The fight I was probably most looking forward to was Diego Sanchez versus Michel Pereira. And we see the other illegal knee. But this one's a bit more controversial. You know what I mean? I'm going to say how I feel about it first, Kelly. It's just that, you know what I mean? It almost seems like he gave up. You know what I mean? That's just not the Diego Sanchez I know. Mm-hmm. It almost seemed like, because he was asking, you know what I mean? Like, he was kind of asking, you know, if, you know, just the simple thing, like, if I continue to fight, you know what I mean? Or if I say I can't fight, he's disqualified, or is it a no contest? Mm-hmm. So he even asked that question. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So to physically be on tape asking that question, will he be disqualified if I say I can't fight?
Yeah. Could take it two ways. Could be he's looking for a way out, or he could be he's such a warrior, he's rocked, but he's willing to fight through it just to keep the disqualification out of his record, or whatever, the no contest. I don't know. I think he used it as a way to win.
Yeah.
I think he was losing really bad. He would have lost anyways. So I think he was looking for a way to win. And whether or not he was in the right or wrong
Yeah.
to do that, you know, it was an illegal move.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And I don't know. That's such a gray area.
Well, it was 100% an illegal move.
Yeah.
100%. And if he was, you know what I mean? If he was rocked, and he definitely shouldn't have continued.
Yeah.
But he was definitely losing. It was in the third. You know what I mean? There was no way there's no way he was going to win that match. He was getting the shit kicked out of him the whole match. But obviously he got hit with a legal knee.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing I didn't like about it too was that the doctor says you're fine. And then he goes like, "No, I can't see out of my eye."
Yeah.
You know, but the doctor would do eye tests. You know what I mean, to check your vision.
I think he was saying that it was bleeding into his
Yeah.
eye.
Yeah.
But it's kind of stopped bleeding.
Weird move, yeah. I'm just saying it was a weird move. I think he did the smart move, you know what I mean, to take. Because there was no way he was going to win that fight.
Yeah, he was definitely going to lose.
He was definitely going to lose.
I think it was a smart thing for him to do. How other people look at it is, you know, obviously some people are going to be pretty angry.
I think it's just timing, too. You know what I mean? Because it was at the end of the fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He wasn't going anywhere. It was only getting worse for him. So it's, you know, then, you know, that plays a factor. You know, it's at the end of the fight. And we've seen that before in MMA history where the dude just getting obliterated and then gets hit with an illegal move. And he shouldn't have been in the fight anyways. The fight should have been ended a round ago. And then then somehow I was like, no, I'm of course I'm knocked out. I've been getting the shit kicked out of me the whole fight.
You know, we've talked about it before. Diego should retire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if he doesn't do it on this one, is he just going to lose another
and
then retire? Like, what's the game plan here?
Yeah.
Is he going to go like BJ Penn?
Yeah, exactly.
I think this is a perfect one to retire on. You're getting your ass kicked, so you know that maybe, you know, it's about that time.
Yeah.
At least it's like a disqualification win instead of, you know, whatever you got.
Yeah.
You lost, basically. Because what is it? It's like if someone gets injured or something, or they go to the what is it? If something happens, they'll go to like whoever is winning up until that point.
Oh, right.
Is that the injury?
Yeah, that's if there's like I think if like generally if there's an injury, it'll be like a TKO that like caused it.
Yeah.
But it'll be like if something did happen and the fight had to be stopped, like this for instance, like a like the guy got kicked in the balls, super bad.
Yeah.
You know, then it would be that.
Very strange.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't know. There was a weird, you know, he had the one corner man with him too.
Yeah.
Which was kind of weird. A lot of people were like, "Why are you doing that?" type thing. So, yeah, obviously he's a different dude. He is a different dude, but odd way to end it.
Yeah. Retire.
Wow, retire. And that brings us to the main event of the evening. Jan Blachowicz versus Corey Overtime Anderson. What a way to come back from a rematch. Hey, you know, losing the first one, kind of, you know, I mean, they're both younger. You know, I mean, it was about 4 years ago, I think, the last time they fought. And, you know, so it's kind of a cool roundabout way that these guys are meeting at the top. You know, now they're all of a sudden they were at the bottom of the 205 division. Here they meet at the top. Basically, one of these guys is going to get the title shot.
Yeah.
And Jan Blachowicz comes in swinging. Great knockout with this. He actually looked good. He looked like he was more crisp. He was really into it. You could just tell. You know, he got tagged a few times, and I think it woke him up a little bit by Corey Anderson. Corey Anderson had some great head movement, and he was throwing some good punches and some good feints and shit like that. Especially tricking Jan Blachowicz because he definitely did not want to get taken down and have a repeat of what happened in their first fight. But Blachowicz just landing that crisp, just straight right on the jaw. You know what I mean? And he didn't look knocked out until you saw the replay. You know, he looked like he got dropped. Yeah. But when you see the replay, he has knocked the fuck out. He's like just like raising his hands in like an awkward way. He got knocked right the fuck out. Huge win for Jan Blachowicz. That's 5 wins in a row now for the guy. Yeah, how can he? No one can really deny any of his shit here. How can you?
I want to see Reyes.
3 wins.
I want to see Reyes get the rematch before him.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Of course. So do I. I want to see that fight too. But
I think Reyes has a better chance at beating John Jones than he does.
He's only 7-1 in his last 8 fights. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
For like, you know, beats Devin Clark. Beat Jared Cannonier, beat Jimmy Manawa, beat Nikita Krylov, loses Thiago Santos, then the knockout of Luke Rockhold, and then the split decision over Jacare, and then the big win over Corey Anderson. Lost to Patrick Cummins and Alexander Gustafsson before that, but both were just by decision. He lost to Corey Anderson and Jimmy Manuwa both by decision too. So he's knocked out the dude in both of his, just knocked out Corey Anderson in his rematch fight. He did beat Jimmy Manuwa by decision in his rematch fight with him, but tough dude. He actually fought a ton in KSW. He actually fought Sokaju over in KSW back in 2011 and actually lost to him.
You should do another rematch.
Yeah.
The last guy he lost to.
Exactly. He has a win over Lear Latifi, too. That's a big win. Houston Alexander, he fought over in KSW. That's hilarious. Big win. Big Jan Blachowicz' biggest win of his career. Good card. I enjoyed it with the main event. You always want to see a good knockout of the main event. It was actually not a terrible card. It had its ups, had its downs, but the ups were a bit better than the downs. That's just what wraps up the show, man. 71 in the books. Great show, man. We had a great week. A lot of shit coming down. We got. I think we have Khabib versus Tony Ferguson coming up shortly too. Can't wait to see that card go down. Just want to give a special shout out to everyone out there listening to the show. Always appreciate you guys tuning in every week. Love doing it for you. Check us out on Twitter @AndNewPodcast. Like I said, if you want to hit up Kelly for some Apex, I see people on Twitter all the time. Need a team, need somebody reliable. Found a dude right here for you. Yeah. It's actually Adesanya versus Romero's next fight, March 7th.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really close. Oh, April is Ferguson versus Khabib. And the UFC 250 in Sao Paulo. That one's really wrapping up. No main event announced for that one yet. Getting it done every week for you folks. Well, then that's just what wraps it up. Then nothing left to say. We'll see you guys next week. For producer and co-host extraordinaire Kelly, my name is Steven, and you've been listening to the No Podcast.